Okay, let's just jump right in with a number that, honestly, it really made us stop and think. The average person spending the equivalent of 2.5 months every single year on their smartphone.
2.5 months? Wow.
Just looking at that screen. Does that sound crazy high to you, or does it just kind of confirm that feeling? You know, the constant pull, the endless scrolling, bouncing between apps, checking. Does it feel less like you own your phone and maybe more like it owns you? If any of that rings true, then this deep dive is definitely for you.
Yeah, we've pulled together quite a bit for this one, a whole stack of research, articles, expert takes, all looking at how our relationship with phones and tech is actually impacting us.
Seriously impacting us.
Yeah, our health, our minds, even, how well we sleep or don't sleep.
Exactly. So our goal today is to really dig into what these sources are telling us about the downsides. Some of them might surprise you. And then the important part, look at practical ways, things backed by evidence, that you can start to maybe reclaim some control.
Find a bit more peace, right? A bit more focus in this very noisy world.
Totally. Okay, so let's get into it. What did the sources say about this problem of digital overload?
Well, the term itself, digital overload, it captures it pretty well. It's just the sheer amount of information hitting us constantly. Think of your brain trying to keep, 50 browser tabs open at once.
Right, you can feel it grinding.
Exactly. And processing all that, or even just trying to filter it, takes real cognitive effort. It's not passive. And the result, our sources point clearly to mental fatigue. You just feel drained, mentally exhausted, even if you haven't done much physically.
Yeah, that brain fag feeling, or just feeling slow. And it's not just a feeling, is it? The sources actually link this effort to being more irritable, more anxious, even experiencing mood swings.
That's right. And we saw this really ramp up during big external stress events, like remember the pandemic, the constant flood of news, alerts, updates. It was just overwhelming for so many people. We saw reports, especially from healthcare workers, about higher emotional exhaustion. It pushed people towards feeling hopeless, almost fatalistic sometimes.
It's that double whammy, isn't it? The sheer volume of information plus the emotional weight of it all.
Precisely. And what's really interesting, or maybe worrying, is how this mental strain translates into actual physical problems. It doesn't just stay in the mind.
Okay, like what?
Well, the obvious one is spending so much time on screens often means sitting down more, a more sedentary lifestyle. And that comes with, poor posture,
Guilty.
Which can lead to long-term back and neck issues. But it's also linked to weight gain, higher risk for things like heart disease, high blood pressure. Even some sources suggest a decline in bone density over time, just from not moving enough.
And then there are those specific phone-related pains. Text neck, we've all heard that one, that constant looking down. And smartphone thumb. Is that really a thing?
Apparently so. Inflammation, actual pain from all that swiping and typing. And don't forget our eyes. Digital eye strain is incredibly common. Dryness, blurry vision, headaches.
Yeah, the headaches. So what can we do about the eye strain? Anything simple?
Actually, yeah. The sources consistently brought up the 20-20-20 rule. It's simple. Every 20 minutes you spend looking at a screen.
Okay.
Take a 20-second break. Look at something 20 feet away. Just gives your eyes a chance to refocus. Oh, and consciously blink more often. We tend to stare when we're focused on screens.
Right. Blink. Okay. 20-20 and blink. Got it. Such a small thing, but makes sense. Now, you mentioned anxiety and mood earlier. Let's circle back to the mental well-being side, because the sources found some really strong links there, didn't they? Especially with social media.
They really did. There's a pretty clear connection identified between heavy social media use and higher rates of anxiety and depression. It affects everyone, but it seems particularly pronounced in younger people.
Why is that?
Well, a big part of it seems to be FOMO, the fear of missing out, but also just the constant comparison. You're scrolling through everyone else's highlight reel, right? Their perfect vacations, perfect meals, perfect lives.
Yeah, the curated perfection.
Exactly. And it's almost impossible not to compare that to your own, normal, messy reality. It can really chip away at your self-worth, make you feel inadequate.
It's like looking at a magazine cover all day long.
Yeah.
And the platforms themselves, the way they're designed, they seem to kind of feed into that emotional reaction.
Yeah, the sources suggest they're almost built to amplify emotions. The outrage posts, the super exciting news, the scary stuff. It keeps you engaged, but it also contributes to this heightened state of anxiety and stress. Like you said, an emotional roller coaster by design.
And the notifications, they never stop.
Don't get me started. Every ping, every buzz, every banner, it's a tiny interruption. But they add up. Our sources highlight how this constant switching fractures your attention.
Right. You can't focus deeply.
Exactly. Your brain is always kind of waiting for the next interruption. Makes real concentration incredibly hard. One study we looked at specifically focused on adolescents.
Okay.
And it found that kids spending more than 3 hours a day on social media might have a significantly higher risk for mental health issues. It's not saying it causes it definitively, but it's a strong correlation, a kind of a dosage effect, maybe.
3 hours. Wow, that doesn't sound like that much these days, sadly. But is it all bad? Did the sources offer any nuance?
Yes, absolutely. It's not entirely black and white. While the risks are definitely there, some experts pointed out that for some teens, positive experiences online can actually be beneficial.
Like what kind of experiences?
Connecting with supportive friends, maybe finding a community around a shared hobby or interest, sharing their own creative stuff. For some kids, these positive interactions might actually help protect against depression. So it really depends how you're using it and maybe who you are.
Okay, that's important context.
Mm-hmm.
It's complex. And that complexity seems to carry over into sleep, right? That was the next big area the sources covered.
Oh, definitely. Sleep is huge. We all know how fundamental it is, but our phones seem to be actively, messing with it.
How so?
Well, one study found a really significant link between using your phone a lot and reporting poor sleep quality. They used something called the PSQI score, it's a standard questionnaire.
Right.
And heavy phone users consistently had higher scores, meaning worse subjective sleep. People felt their sleep was worse. They reported taking longer to fall asleep, that's sleep latency, sleeping for shorter periods overall, feeling like their sleep wasn't efficient, and importantly, feeling the effects during the day, daytime dysfunction.
So they feel like their sleep is bad. But didn't that study also use objective measures? Like tracking actual sleep patterns?
Yes, and this is where it gets really fascinating and maybe a bit confusing. They used things like actigraphy tracking movement and polysomnography, which is the full sleep lab setup measuring brain waves and all that.
Okay, and what did that show?
Objectively, the high phone users actually got into the deeper stages of sleep, N2 and N3 sleep, significantly faster.
Wait, faster. But they felt their sleep was worse. How does that work?
It's counterintuitive, isn't it? The researchers speculated a bit. Maybe, they suggested, it's the body kind of scrambling, trying to consolidate sleep or compensate for bad sleep patterns or just general sleep debt.
So like forcing the deep sleep when it finally gets a chance?
Kind of. Like the body is stressed and knows it needs that restorative deep sleep, so it rushes to get there, even if the process of falling asleep felt difficult or the total sleep time was shorter.
Huh. That's a really interesting idea, the body trying to adapt, but it doesn't necessarily mean you feel rested.
Exactly. And beyond that specific finding, the sources hammered home the well-known issue, blue light.
Ah, yes, the dreaded blue light.
Yep. Screens emit a lot of it, and it's particularly good at suppressing melatonin. That's the hormone that signals sleep time to your brain. So scrolling in bed is basically telling your brain, nope, stay awake.
Which makes it harder to fall asleep and just throws off your whole natural rhythm.
Precisely.
Okay, so let's recap the damage here. Digital overload causes mental fatigue, stress. Heavy use, especially social media, is linked to anxiety, depression, feeling inadequate. Our attention is fractured, and it messes with our sleep, both how we feel about it and, in complex ways, the actual structure of it.
That sums it up pretty well.
Which powerfully makes the case for why taking a break, doing a digital detox, can be so beneficial.
Exactly. When you see all those negatives laid out, the upsides of cutting back become really clear. The sources consistently show that even small breaks can improve sleep quality, boost life satisfaction, just make you feel better overall.
It's like hitting reset. Less anxiety, less stress, maybe fewer depressive symptoms. And if you feel genuinely hooked on your phone, it's a way to break that cycle.
And cognitively, too. Giving your brain a break from constant interruptions helps restore its ability to actually focus, to think more deeply.
Okay, so people are convinced. They want to try it. How do you actually do it? Does it have to be cold turkey, phone in a drawer for a month?
Not at all. That might be too much for most people initially. The sources offer loads of practical, smaller steps you can take right now.
Like what? Give us the easy wins first.
Okay, probably the single most effective, simplest thing. Turn off most push notifications.
Ah, the constant pings.
They are literally designed to interrupt you. Just disable everything not essential. That alone can make a huge difference to your focus. Another big one. Designate tech-free times or zones.
Like meals.
Meals are perfect. Research shows even a phone face down on the table lowers the quality of conversation. And the bedroom, make it a no-tech zone.
Get an actual alarm clock.
Yes, so you're not grabbing your phone first thing in the morning and last thing at night. It avoids that immediate scroll vortex. Plus, good for intimacy if you share the space. And try to stick to one screen at a time. No phone scrolling while watching TV. It just adds to the cognitive strain.
Okay, those seem doable. What else? Anything counterintuitive?
Here's one I like from the sources. Try changing your phone screen to grayscale, black and white.
Really? Why?
It makes it less visually appealing. Those bright, flashy colors are designed to grab and hold your attention. Removing them can make the phone less stimulating, less engaging for mindless scrolling. Might just nudge you to put it down sooner.
Interesting hack. Okay, so reduce the pull. What about filling the time? If you're not scrolling, what do you do?
Actively replace the screen time. The sources had great ideas here. Get physical. Take a walk, play cards, dice, board games, Monopoly, whatever you have. Someone suggested taping a tic-tac-toe grid on the floor.
Huh. Love that.
Build stuff. Lego, cardboard forts. Get crafty. Make Play-Doh, pasta sculptures, popsicle stick things. Engage your mind differently. Read a physical book, apparently. You retain more than reading on a screen.
Good to know.
Puzzles, word searches, Sudoku, science kits, model building. Spend time with family. Really spend time. Look at old photos, cook together, sing karaoke, listen to an audiobook together.
Connect with nature or animals, too.
Yeah. Teach the dog a trick, make bird feeders, collect stuff for an animal shelter. The key is finding activities that are grounding, engaging in a different way, and connect you to the physical world and people around you, not just passively consuming content.
Makes sense. It's about replacing the habit. Now, you mentioned tech itself could help. Seems weird.
It does sound counterintuitive, but yeah. There are apps specifically designed to help you manage your usage. Some block distracting websites or apps. Some let you schedule blocks where only certain calls or texts get through.
Like focus modes.
Exactly. And your phone's built-in features, do not disturb, screen time limits. They're powerful tools if you actually use them. Set daily limits for specific apps you overuse. Some apps even gamify it, like growing a virtual plant if you stay off your phone.
Okay, using tech against tech. And what about the internal side? Understanding why we reach for the phone.
That's crucial. The sources really stress self-reflection. Why are you picking up your phone right now? Boredom, anxiety, habit. Use those tracking apps to get an honest look at where the time goes. It can be shocking, but useful data.
Maybe avoid posting when you're emotional.
Good point. Less likely to lead to regret. And curate your feed. Maybe unfollow accounts that make you feel bad or trigger comparison, and stick to people you actually know or content that genuinely uplifts you.
Okay, those are great strategies for managing daily use, but what if someone wants to go further? Like a real longer detox? Maybe for a vacation or just a dedicated break. The sources mentioned planning for that, right? It's not just switching off.
No, especially now. Our digital lives are so intertwined with everything. You need some prep. Think of it as a digital spring clean before you unplug.
What does that involve?
Reviewing and canceling old subscriptions. Definitely strengthening passwords for critical things, banking, main email. Use a password manager if you can.
Yeah.
And turn on two-factor authentication, 2FA.
Extra code thingy?
Yeah, preferably using an authenticator app, not just SMS texts, as they're a bit more secure. And back up your important files, photos, documents, whatever you can't afford to lose.
Okay, passwords, 2FA, backups. What about staying connected for essentials or letting people know?
Right. Plan for necessary access. If you manage something important online, give temporary access to someone trusted. Tell your bank if you're traveling so they don't block your card. Update all your device software and security apps before you go offline. Protect devices with passwords, encryption. Enable Find My Device features.
And your phone number itself. It's key to so many accounts.
Good point. Protect your SIM card with a PIN. Maybe check with your provider about adding extra security against unauthorized SIM swaps or reissues. And if you're going really remote, consider a backup communication method, even a basic satellite messenger for emergencies.
What about at home? Smart devices.
Decide what needs to stay on, maybe security cameras on backup power. Unplug the rest. Change default passwords on your router and any Internet of Things devices. Make sure someone trusted can get critical alerts, like from smoke detectors, and has a spare key.
And when you're actually on the detox, any tips for managing things while you're away?
Be mindful of what you share, if anything. Maybe don't post vacation pics in real time. It signals your house is empty. Share them later.
Good security tip.
Let work and family know you'll be less available. Set up out-of-office replies, but don't give away too many personal details. Maybe just take one essential device, or even a very basic phone just for emergency texts, keeping your main smartphone secure somewhere else. And avoid risky public Wi-Fi like the plague. Use mobile data or a secure connection if you absolutely must connect.
Okay, so prep is key for a longer break. Then what about coming back? Just switch everything on and dive back in.
Probably not the best idea. Ease back in and do some checks. Turn devices on, immediately install any pending updates. Then check your key accounts, email, bank, social media logs. Look for any weird login attempts, password reset requests you didn't make, 2FA codes you didn't trigger.
What if you find something suspicious?
Act fast. Change the password immediately. Log out all other sessions. Contact the bank or service provider support. Also, just check your phone number is still active and your mobile balance looks right.
That's like checking the locks and windows when you get home after a trip.
Exactly that. Make sure everything's secure. And use the experience. What worked? What didn't? Did you feel better? Did your security hold up? Learn from it for next time.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, the main takeaway from this deep dive seems to be, first, just recognizing it. Recognizing how this digital overload is genuinely impacting our mental health, our sleep, our bodies, our focus. That's step one.
Absolutely. Awareness is key. And step two is taking action. Deliberate action, whether it's those small daily strategies we talked about or planning a bigger detox, making conscious choices about your digital life can lead to real improvements, more focus, more peace, more presence.
It really comes down to flipping that power dynamic, doesn't it? Taking back control, owning your phone, not letting it own you.
Yeah, and think about what people often say after a longer break. At first, maybe they feel a bit lost, a bit vulnerable even, but then something changes.
So.
They start noticing the world more. They actually sit and think without that automatic reach for the phone. They feel like they can filter again, separate the important stuff from all the noise.
That sounds pretty good, actually. So the final thought for everyone listening, what's one small step, maybe something you heard today, that you could take maybe even right now to reclaim just a little bit of that peace?
We really hope this deep dive gave you some food for thought and maybe some practical tools. Thanks for tuning in.